I wanted to quit acting really badly. Have you ever been there?
Oh yeah.
I'm here right now.
Hello, yeah.
How's it
Can't do
going?
I didn't
anything.
realize you guys quit acting.
No, I didn't quit.
See, it's so complex, isn't it?
I did get
be there.
You want to.
You would love to. It's like
You wish you could quit it.
You would. Yes, you would love to not love something, but
I got a DM yesterday that said, I imagine you just wanted to live a normal life. That's why you no longer work. And I thought, I wanted to respond and be like, that's exactly why I'm doing it.
You got it.
Next time I work, I'll be like, I decided to come back. That's what it was. I just wanted to come back to it.
I love your guys' dynamic. You guys have this like really fun, dry humor.
yeah, definitely. It's brutal from time to time, but it
Can be off-putting, I found.
Certainly.
I mean, it makes me nervous. I'm not going to lie, because I'm extremely charming, and you guys are charming, but in like the male version of me. So it's like, I get it. I see what you're doing.
I don't have to be called charming.
You're charming.
What?
I've never really been called charming.
That's. You're not being charming when you look at me like that. But
I've been called an asshole, many things along those lines. I never got
in
charming.
your DMs.
you can still be an asshole and be charming.
Unemployed in the DMs is most of the ones I get, apparently.
What's the craziest thing a hater has ever said to you guys?
Oh man.
Or like,
geez.
yeah, or like Googled or something. I'll start. People are like, Christy Romano, is she dead? I mean, that's like the classic child star.
Yeah.
Google search.
I mean, I feel like all the insults I get called now are like playground TikTok insults.
Did you start at Columbia when you were 18?
Yeah, I went to Barnard, which is where Greta Gerwig went, at the same class. She was in my Spanish class.
Barbie is the first time I've been to a theater in months.
Really?
Just crazy.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it was kind of really lovely to see the folks in the seats. It felt like when I was growing up and everyone was going
yeah, it's
to
nice
movies.
seeing people go.
Like on a holiday weekend, people would like do
Yeah.
that. They would like be home and everyone would go see each other and they'd bump into each other at
Yeah.
the meet cute kind of.
It's so nice.
Where have
Yeah,
you
I know.
been? I was at college.
I went so many times, I feel like, growing up. And then in the last, like, even I feel like it was before COVID. It wasn't even like.
It was before
It wasn't
COVID.
people
It was
blamed
because
COVID.
streaming happened before
Yeah.
COVID, you know,
Totally.
and then like that's what made people survive, was being able to stream through COVID, you know, was because things were premiered, like big movies were premiered on the streaming networks.
Wait, so did you go to school with Greta Gerwig?
I went when I was 18 years old to Barnard for 1 year before Disney offered me Beauty and the Beast on Broadway. I was there for about a year and a half, and certainly wasn't in the same circles as her. I think she was definitely dedicated to her craft, like from day one. I think if you see Lady Bird, like it ends with her going to Barnard. And so she was like a dedicated, you know, feminist filmmaker. And it took me years to get to that place. But by the time that I graduated, I was like really considering doing a documentary about child actors. And like, that's kind of how Vulnerable, I think, like ended up becoming a topic of, you know, like where we are right now.
Yeah.
But I also am really interested because you guys kind of started getting together and a lot of people started tagging me in some of your stuff. And then that's how we started talking. So I know that you guys met then when you were 15 at the Muppets.
Yes.
You were too young to remember, I guess.
Too big time.
I think at that time I was 6 inches taller than him, so I couldn't see. But
That's true.
You got a growth spurt then because you guys are the same height.
oh, I wish. No, he passed me.
Oh, yeah?
I was tall going into 5th grade. I was taller than everybody. And then I did not grow again. I stopped at that height, and then everybody else kept going.
I didn't
And
notice
that's what
your
happened
height.
with him.
Yeah, I didn't grow until I was like 16 or 17. I was like 4'11".
That's really short and
Yeah.
to really tall.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, who else did that was, I always call him Ned, and that's so dumb. It's Devin.
Devin.
Werkheiser.
Yeah.
And Shia. Shia also did that, where like one day he was like a little itty bitty, and then the next thing he was tall,
Yeah.
like his dad, like super, super tall.
How tall is he?
I think he's like 6'2".
Ah,
He's like
God.
something crazy.
Shia's 6'2".
He's
That is
super
just-
tall.
That's my dream.
By the end
is
of Even
deceptive.
Stevens, he was like 6'2", and like you know, his dad's like just like that, super tall. So guys, then what made you guys like each other versus like people who are co-stars who end up just like drifting apart?
Oh, we started that way. So we started out
Yeah.
hating each other, and then we became
Acquaintance.
acquaintances. Yeah.
So you're not actually friends; you're just acquaintances.
Right. Yes.
We spent a lot of time together for people who are acquaintances, but
he
I didn't realize that. I thought
like,
y'all were besties.
no. Yeah.
No, I hate his guts. Yeah, terrible person. He
Charming, very charming.
Yeah, I just learned.
the first season we just had totally different work dynamics. I goofed off a whole bunch, and he had worked with adults his whole life. I didn't take anything very seriously.
And looking back on it, it's funny because the work we were doing
It's
wasn't
not to be
serious
taken
at all.
seriously,
So
yeah.
I was the weird one in that situation trying to take it seriously.
Did you ever feel like people were like, come on, lighten up, like from the crew? I got that because I was the serious theater girl from New York that came in, and like Shai was like the slapsticky little brother and was like poking, doing all these funny jokes.
It wasn't really that. It wasn't like I was taking the work too seriously. It was more of like I was taking working too seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I was like a 13-year-old who was 40 years old.
Yeah, you're bringing
know?
your briefcase to work and
Yeah.
opening it.
It wasn't
going,
like
"This is what-" yeah, that's
I would go in
that's how I
a
see
suit
That's
every
how you
single day.
remember it.
Yeah, it's shooting rehearsal days.
He'd take off his tie.
Yeah,
just
when
so that
things
he
were
could
getting
put on his
serious, I would
outfit,
put on my tie.
which was probably like a Hawaiian shirt and cargo shorts.
I had done a show with, all adults before.
Which show was that?
Having worked on Good Luck Charlie.
Oh yeah.
And so when we went to Mighty Med, I was working with people my own age for the first time, and it just was it was a bit of a shock for me. But it's an interesting thing because like I grew up working with adults, so I like formed my work ethic around theirs,
Mhm.
And it was kind of like the dad on our show, and he still says this, like he'll do any job, like any work is work, and I think that's such like a prominent thing right now in our industry with the strike going on and
journeyman,
everything. It's
yeah.
like people just being like, work is work. Like
Yeah.
if you can get a job, get a job. That's how I've made my living. And so that was always his outlook. And so I always felt like I'm here and this is so incredible that I get to work, Not saying that you didn't feel that way,
I didn't
but it was
feel
just,
that
okay. Well, I'm saying he
totally
didn't feel that way, but it was just a lot less serious, And so I took it way more seriously, and then we kind of balanced each other
I
out.
go and I played like dominoes with grips during lunch. I go out and like
Were you smoking cigarettes?
yeah, I was smoking cigarettes. I was
Probably.
gambling.
I mean, probably. I definitely
I'd
smoked a
leave set
cigarette
and
or
go.
two with a
Crew
grip.
member.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd go out for lunch, even though they were like, just don't leave the lot, just stay on the lot. I'd be like, I'm just gonna go get something.
Yeah.
Where did you guys shoot?
We shot
Center.
at LA Center, and then we
LA
shot
Center.
at
Hollywood
Hollywood Center.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hollywood Center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which has a new name. Oh, is it Los Palmas Studios now?
Oh, really?
that,
I
yeah.
didn't even know that. Y'all are
Um,
so industry.
Well,
yeah, so-
because the one that we worked at originally, you didn't work there. The one that we shot the
Oh,
first season.
Occidental.
No, jeez.
Oh my
that was
God.
the worst
Occidental's
place in the world.
far.
That
That
is
is
the
the most
worst
disgusting place.
studio.
Weird.
I don't know. I haven't been there in 10 years. Though.
Netflix bought
Bronson.
Oh
Sunset
yeah.
Bronson.
Yeah.
Bronson,
Yeah.
Just so people who are not in the industry who are listening know, these are all these little studios that exist
Yeah.
and have existed since like Lucille Ball days. And like
Yeah.
Disney will buy up certain lots and do like, That's So Raven was on one of them, and Zendaya's show was on it and
Yeah,
stuff.
that was it. Los
Were
Palmas.
you guys like that was part of your it's
That was
almost
our
like an
era.
alumni. I was gonna
Yeah.
say like everyone has, and I also always wonder about this, and people dog me for this because they're like, why are you talking about yourself? Did you guys were you aware of like my generation
Oh yeah.
of Disney actors?
Yeah, I actually loved your guys' show
Oh, I watch Steven Stevens all the time.
all the time.
Interesting. Were you
Yeah.
like inspired by the zaniness of it
100%.
for your acting?
I mean, I think everyone liked this little thing that we did. They loved that.
And we were the originators of that.
Yep.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah, which is so wild to me that these days people are like, oh, I dreamed
to do the
growing up, to do
Yeah.
a wand thing. And I was like,
Yeah, it's not the same anymore, though. I don't feel like it is.
None
I
of
feel
it's
like
the same.
Yeah, it's all.
It's not even called Disney Channel anymore.
No,
It's Disney
they-
branded partners.
They totally moved.
Is that what it's
everything to
called?
Disney.
So when you're
all
watching,
Disney
it's
Plus,
like
right?
I think they have the logo Disney Channel, but like officially, Disney branded partners is like how they're doing their their LLC, not their LLC, but their development is kind of the mindset that it's something that could go to streamers, right?
Oh, I thought you meant like when they're doing their wand IDs, they're like,
They're like,
and you're watching Disney branded partners.
No, I wouldn't know.
No, but we had a lot of. For me, it was strange because like Jason Dolly had come off of Corey.
Oh, yeah.
Corey in the House,
Yeah,
and so
yeah,
Corey in the House was kind of closer to you guys at that time frame because that was a spinoff of That's So Raven, right? So I mean, it was closer-ish, and it was just this long trail that kind of led down to us, and we filmed at the same time that our first season was on the same lot that Hannah Montana was filming their fourth season, and then we shared crew for 2 years with Wizards of Waverly Place. So there was a lot of like
Intersection.
yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah.
synergy
A lot of overlap.
between everybody.
Yeah, I think that helps, right?
Yeah, and
So
so
you definitely get the hot goss from the crew.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
that stage parent. Oh, like this,
yeah.
that, and the other. You get all the
Oh, I
hot
know.
goss
I knew
from the
exactly what show was a favorite, which one was a nightmare. It was great. I love it.
The crew needs to shut up because these are kids
Yeah,
and they
I
should
know.
not be gossiping about kids.
You
I
just
know
ask a
that-
question, they always go like, "Ugh."
Oh, fuck that.
You're like,
guy.
oh,
I'm
You're
not
like, he's
paid
7.
enough.
Yeah.
I know that it's a
That little
4-year-old
bitch,
child.
you're like, what? He's a 4-year-old boy. Like, why are you talking about him like that? It's terrible.
It's horrible. They're just not paid enough to like not say some shit. You know.
I know.
Well, and I'm sure that most crew people didn't think that they would start working on children's TV shows. Thanks so much for checking out this clip for the Vulnerable Podcast. For the full episode, go ahead and check out my YouTube channel. That link is in the description. Thanks again.